We now want to introduce one of our staff members for a long time, Holly Bounds. We're going to continue on our series where we're highlighting, Historical Women's Month here, particularly those women that were instrumental or admired by some of our staff members. So let's go on to Holly Bounds. Holly? By the way,
hi,
Holly,
everyone. Oh,
hey, Holly.
Go ahead.
If you could just introduce your role at SMA first before you start, that'd be great.
I will. Hi, everyone. My name again is Holly Bounds, and I'm actually the payroll manager for SMA. And I've been asked to do the presentation today for Women's History. And let me share my screen. And so I went ahead and picked women that I felt love or admiration for throughout my life. And so we're going to start with, where is it? Princess Diana. So Princess Diana obviously is Princess of Wales, and she was known for being the people's princess. And growing up, I think I was in junior high school or high school when Princess Diana and Prince Charles got married. I was infatuated with it all, as many people were. And she was known to work with a lot of charities, with the homeless, the youth, drug addicted, elderly, and specifically for people that had AIDS. And she, in the 1980s, she was worked with people who HIV and AIDS, and she was not averse to making physical contact with patients, and was the first in the British and royal family to do so, and holding hands with AIDS patients to destigmatize that condition. She also worked with Halo Trust, the organization that removed debris from war-stricken countries, and they focused on removing landmines to make it safer for everyone in the country. My second one is Lucille Ball. She's my favorite actress comedian. Love Lucille Ball. She started actually as a model and then went into radio and was Liz Cooper in My Favorite Husband. And then CBS actually wanted to develop a show around that radio show, which turned into I Love Lucy. And she was also one of the first women and head of a major Hollywood studio, which was Desilu Production, which her and her husband started. And she was a producer and star of I Love Lucy, which is still run today and which I still watch on TV 64 years later. My next person is Jackie Kennedy Onassis, First Lady of the United States during her husband's presidency. And she was super popular First Lady. People in America loved her. And she was very devoted to historical preservation of the White House. She was known for her fashion sense. She was also very devoted to her children, which really made the American people just love her. Later in life, she went back into publication, working for Viking Press and others. And she was also very involved in the cultural and architectural preservation of historical buildings, especially the Grand Central Station, among many other buildings in New York. Madam C.J. Walker. So many of you might not know her. I learned about her when I was in cosmetology school. And she is recorded to be the first female self-made millionaire in America, according to the Guinness Book of World Records. And she made her fortune developing cosmetics and hair care products for women of color. She has founded her own company, which is still in business today, and I believe is still run by her family. She was a very outspoken woman for the time in the late 1800s, and she was known to, speak out during conventions that were primarily men in those conventions. And she was also asked to be a keynote speaker at those conventions after she spoke out on one of the convention floors. And just her tenacity in life to give her daughter a better life. She made sure that she sent her daughter to college. Her daughter actually ended up running her company after her death. So I really admire this woman. This is Irina Sendler. So Irina was a humanitarian social worker and nurse during World War II. She was also in the Polish underground resistance in World War II. And she is known for saving and smuggling Jewish children out of Warsaw from the ghetto and giving them false identification documents and placing them with Polish families that were willing to take these Jewish children in. So I just thought, and she's the cutest little lady I've ever seen in my life. So I super admire her courage and tenacity to get that done. Maya Angelou, American poet. She's best known for her autobiographies, her books of essays, poetry, and is accredited for plays and movies and television. She was very involved in civil rights and worked alongside Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. She was also presented the Medal of Freedom in 2011. And one of my favorite quotes from her is, "I've learned that people will forget what you've said, people will forget what you've done, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And so that's something to live by, in words that I try to remember on a daily basis. Malala I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, Yousafzai, I'm not sure. She's a Pakistani activist. Advocacy for children in education, women in education, getting your education and advancing yourself. And she was became famous, unfortunately, because she was gunned down in an assassination attempt by the Pakistani Taliban. She was actually, her and two other girls were shot at, and she was actually shot in the face. But she has gone on to speak around the world about, education and how important it is for women to get their education to better themselves and their lives. And she actually finished her education, got her bachelor's degree in philosophy and politics and economics. Jane Goodall is best known for her, she's the foremost expert on chimpanzees and best known for her 60-year study on social and family interaction with the wild chimpanzees since she first went to Tanzania in 1960. She's also the founder of the Jane Goodall Institute, where she runs many programs and runs scholarships through her institution for young children wanting to get involved in the preservation of the chimpanzees. She also is working to reforest and educate to promote the habitat and deforestation by reforesting the hills around Gombe. And last but not least, you can't have a world history without Mother Teresa, who was a nun, Catholic nun. In 1950, she founded the Missionaries of Charity and Roman Catholic Religion congregation that had over 4,500 nuns and was active in 133 countries in 2012. And they managed homes for people who are dying of AIDS, leprosy, and tuberculosis. And she was also the Nobel Prize winner in 1979. And so we couldn't have a presentation without including her. And that's all I have.
Thank you so much,
Well
Holly.
done.
That was incredible women.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing
Yes.
that with us.